Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning connection. How you doing this morning? I'm Skip LaCour. I'm so glad you're here for our daily connection, our daily ritual, our morning ritual, habit, discipline, right? Just something that we do. It's our mental toughness conditioning, our exercise, our workout for the mind, the heart, for our soul, it's just that passion and energy that we need every single day. The rocket fuel, right? We have our plans, we have our intentions. Hey, did you wake up with your game face on? Well, it's this type of stuff, this mental and emotional energy, passion. It's going to make all those plans, all those great intentions that we have, it's going to make it work. And that's what I'm just here every single day to talk about things that we all go through. We continually go through. Men a little bit older, one that sees every single day with that sense of urgency. I'm just here to remind you of who you really are and what you're really all about. We're going through this journey together. In this morning connection, I want to talk about how to be resourceful. How to be resourceful. You know, this is one of these distinctions, all right? Stacked up upon all the things. You know, life teaches us so many lessons. The things that we do well, the things that we learn in seminars and books that we read, that life teaches us, mentors teaches us, you know, in all these different ways. Our successes, our failures, and everything between observing other people. We learn so many things. They stack upon each other. So sometimes when I say, well, this distinction made all the difference in the world, I realize, just like with you, it's stacked upon all the life lessons that we learn. But when I understood this about resourcefulness at a different level, it made all the difference in the world. So, right, if you get like 1/10 out of this life lesson about resourcefulness that I got out of it, it's going to launch you to a new level of a sense of control and imagination that getting what you want in life, working through your challenge, that it's possible. It's possible. There's a pattern to figure out, and you can figure it out. So how to be resourceful. All right. Can tell you this, there's a lot of times where, you know, I give us things to think about every single day in this morning connection. I don't claim to have all the answers. I'm just stimulating thought. Some of these things I think, you know, I've got some really powerful things to say. I mean, this has really helped me. It's really helped out my guys. Come from a very strong position of certainty that I have some clear distinctions for you on the topics that we talk about. I got to tell you, this one, I have this humility, all right, about resourcefulness that I never have this down. I don't even want to think I have it down. I humbly acknowledge that there are so many higher levels, all right? This about resourcefulness. And let me just explain what I mean by that is that, you know, everything in life, I mean, especially I talk about this, if you've seen another man, you know, flesh and blood, just like you accomplish something, achieve something, experience something, have feelings and emotions, whatever the things, the goals, whatever it is that you want, then you can do it too. There's just a pattern to figure out. All right, there's challenges to get through, whether it's the mental challenges that are holding back, disempowering beliefs, your failures of the past, whatever it is, or, you know, challenges and just strategies and figure out the code. If somebody else has figured it out, you can too. Right? So it's about our resourcefulness. What are the options in front of us that can help us break through our challenges to actually get closer? What are the strategies, whether it's a morning connection, like this, you get in the habit, you're getting addicted to this process, or a workout, whether you feel like it or not, just like working out, and you show up every single day, and once you get into it, you think, I'm so glad I showed up for this morning connection, and then get that sense of accomplishment, right? That feeling of the endorphins, right, that you accomplish something that you didn't want to do, that most people wouldn't do. They wouldn't show up for this like you and I do, right? That sense of completeness, accomplishments, you know, get that boost of that mindset, right? When you do it anyway. I mean, that's what you get from this morning connection by showing up every single day, right? This is a resource. People are a resource. Your worst enemy could be a resource, whether it's you turn that situation around, or it's the fuel, it's the fire that you keep on going. Haters, right? You hear that a lot of haters. I mean, that's a resource. Either to use it to fuel you, that anger, or what I'll show them, all right, or to take their criticism. They got a real good point. It's a resource. Every day is a resource, all right? Everything on the internet, good, bad, or indifferent, we can use it in our mind as a resource. It's just our imagination. It starts with our beliefs. We talked about, in this morning connection, knowing what you want. Knowing what you want from every situation. I mean, that's the start. And then your imagination, can you see it actually happening? Do you believe it? Do you believe it? I mean, we never have 100% certainty that we can accomplish goal, overcome the obstacle. And you know what? That's the great fun of life, that we don't know for sure. I always say if you hover around 87%, and it's just a figurative number. Got a lot of guys, black and white. How do you know if you're 87%? Just something I'm throwing out there, that you got to have a high percentage, right? But it doesn't have to be 100%. Once it starts dipping below there, now you're going to have some challenge. You got to find a story in your mind to open up that imagination, that belief. Sometimes we got to get over our mistakes of the past, our sins of the past, how to forgive ourselves of the past. All right, our failures of the past. We got to find a way to use our failures as a resource. What we learned from that, and our failures is probably one of the best resources. A lot of the negative things, and again, I talked about haters, those people who doubt you, your failures of the past, where you sat with so much uncertainty. Those times can really drive you. Those are resources. In addition to all the positive energy that you get from this morning connection and everything I post, whether it's inside or outside of the gym or the people on the internet, it doesn't matter, right? Resourceful. It's all out there. It's all out this internet. So much information, visual through YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Just so many websites. It's out there. There are a lot of passionate people like me just out there. The resources are out there. Whatever challenge that you have. Now, I'm not saying that you can relieve all your challenges overnight like maybe you want to, but if you keep on keeping on, the resources are out there. Tony Robbins says, resourcefulness is the greatest resource. Resourcefulness, being able to see good, bad, what everybody may perceive as a resource to get you to where you want to go, to get you past your challenges, right? Resourcefulness, resources. Your resourcefulness is the greatest resource that you have. More than anything else, we talk about mental toughness. We talk about perseverance and grit and all those type of things. But resourcefulness, to use all of that with the people, the places, the events, everything. Resourcefulness is your greatest resource. And I'll tell you what, it all starts with your beliefs, right? Telling yourself a story that you can accomplish. It starts there. And then opening up your imagination. I talk about a lot of times that, a lot of things on the internet, we compare ourselves sometimes to other men in situations. Many times we see men experiencing things in life or achieving things in life. And sometimes your instinct might be, they're not who they say they are. They're really not accomplishing that. And I always say, it's just because you and I don't have the imagination to think that it's possible or to have found a way, does not mean it's not possible. Right? That imagination, then once that opens up, and then it's seeing all the resources that are available to you. Again, good, bad, and different, how other people describe it, they all can be used as a resource. It's out there for us. Your ability to see the tremendous resources, get you from where you are now to where you want to be. Resourcefulness, your greatest resource. I'll tell you, again, I bring up these topics for all of us to think about. There's always a higher level. I don't claim to have everything down. I'm just bringing up things that we go through and we need to think about to achieve those things, to feel those things that we really want. I humbly acknowledge that this resource thing, I always got to have my face. I always got to know that there's a higher level, and I can never have this down. Everything we want, guys, it is out there. Again, I want to tell you, maybe you can't change your situation overnight, but it's out there. The resources are out there, all right? Resourcefulness, think about that. I don't know if that just hits you even, like I said, 1/100th of the way it hit me at the time. It's just opened up everything. There's always a way. I don't care how far you're behind. How much you failed in the past. how desperate your situation looks, there is a way and a resource that you got to keep that imagination, that those beliefs there, to keep on, to see them. How many times have you grinded away at something and felt, I can't do this, there's something wrong, somebody, some situation, it's stacked against me, whatever it is, and you were certain that it was out of your control, but you kept on keeping on. You just kept on keeping on, and then you cracked the code, you figured out the pattern, right? Think about this, guys. How many times was that pattern, you could have figured out a lot sooner. The resources, they were there. And then you just opened up your mind. Maybe it was through pain, maybe it was through inspiration, maybe it was a mentor, whatever it was. And you think, wow, those resources were available to me all the time years ago. Use that as not like something wrong with me. One thing I talk about personal development, when you start getting it, you become self-aware, you start cracking these codes, you become resourceful and start figuring out your biggest challenges. I'll tell you, that seems like, I want to do that. I want to be in that state. It just seems like that would just be the greatest state to be. But I'll tell you, I prepare my guys that there's what I call the pain and shame of personal development. And by that, I mean, when you start getting it, people, and how you could have made your situation, how they were there for you. Maybe they cared about you. Maybe they weren't a hater to begin with. That all of these things that you tied yourself up for, and maybe you treated other people, you treated yourself. All the unnecessary stress that you went through because you weren't resourceful and you finally figured out. There's this thing I call the pain and shame of personal development. You got two choices at that point. You could say, well, who cares about all the time I wasted, and all the times I wasn't resourceful, and all the people I hurt, and all the money I lost and didn't make, or whatever it is, all the time I spent bitching and complaining and embarrassing myself just because I wasn't resourceful, all right? But thank God those times are gone. Or you can say, well, and hold on to those beliefs. So you want to stick with those beliefs that kept you safe, even though they are wrong. Sometimes we, maybe not on a conscious level, we stick to those even though we lost. We made ourselves miserable and other people. We didn't crack the code. We want to stick to those beliefs because we held on to them for so long, even though the pathway, the resources are right in front of us. Right, the pain and shame of personal development. I'll tell you, I do so much, my one-on-one coaching with guys, and I'll tell you some of the challenges that they're working through. I have the experience. I thought just like they did. I tied myself up. I wasn't resourceful. All those type of things until I finally was. And I got to the other side. And so through conversation every single week as they work toward their strategies, I help open up their imagination. I make them aware of all the resources available to them. A lot of times, I'll tell you, I get off the phone and I think, man, I wish that I had a mentor who could communicate and tell them things that I just told them, because their life is going to be so much easier because I was a resource that they took advantage of. Some of my guys are like 20 years younger. I'm thinking, man, if I would have had a mentor that explained this to me and stack that on 20 years, where would I be? All the people I wouldn't have hurt, all the time I wouldn't have spent bitching and complaining and feeling I was trapped when there were so many resources ahead of me. And I'm thinking, But my way, because you can't do anything about that, is to give. That's part of the reason why I don't want you to go through the pain. And if my pain and my lack of resourcefulness and all that time I spent log jammed, if I coming out the other side, I've got a short story to share, got resources to share. That's my way to get out of that guilt and shame of personal development. But think about it, right? Who cares about the past, how you felt? We want to enjoy all the great things about resourcefulness. There's always a higher level. We got to be humble. We got to keep on looking for those options. This world is full of them. Here's one for you too. All right, this morning connection. All right, so resourcefulness, man, it's just the key to every one of your challenges. All those great things. How resourceful are you to see all the amazing things that are there to help you? Resourcefulness, your greatest resource. Be humble about it. It's always that higher level. Right. Hey, let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. Let's take care of our physical body. All right, let's take care of our physical body. Hey, you know what? I got a gift for you. if you love this type of stuff. I put together my 15 best life lessons in 15 videos. I call it the 15 MANformation Steps. I have it on a members-only website. All right, so I'm going to issue a username and password. Go to skiplacour.com/15. skiplacour.com/15. Fill out that questionnaire. Tell me about this personal development. Tell me about your journey that you're on. Tell me what you have accomplished in the past, what you really want. What are the challenges? What are the resources that you think you need? Right? skiplacour.com/15. Fill out that questionnaire. When I know that you play out. I had a gentleman who just was listening to my podcast for the first time and on the road. I do a podcast version of this. You can see the versions of some of the choice of these morning connections, on the podcast channels. Just look up MANformation, and he's just in his car, called me right from his car, because he was moved by some of the things that he said. I want you to do the same. Fill out that questionnaire. Right? I'll reach out to you. If you're moved and you want to take action on some of the things that we talked about, fill out that questionnaire. Get free, instant, lifetime access in the 15 MANformation Steps. Right, the 15 MANformation Steps. Those videos that are going to be sent to you in this members-only website. But more than that, I'll reach out to you. We'll talk about your specific situation in 10, 15 minutes. Whatever is going to take the time, I'm going to take the time with you. So that's my free gift to you. All right, so let's take on this day with a sense of urgency. When you're a little bit older like us, got to live with passion and energy. You also got to take on the day with a sense of urgency. There's more time behind us than we do in front of us. Right? So let's take care of our physical bodies. Let's take care of ourselves. All right? Let's not beat ourselves up too much. Let's look at those resources and move through the day with that imagination and confidence. All right? Let's produce. Let's connect with other people. Let's provide value for other people. Let's love and connect with the people that we love. Again, let's do that every single day with a sense of urgency. I'm here to remind you that we need to take on every single day. Make the most out of it. Remember, everything in life runs in patterns. Some are more complex than others. Some you'll get sooner than others. But everything, even how to be resourceful, there's a pattern to figure out. And hopefully, during this morning connection, definitely give you some things to think about on your way to becoming more resourceful. All right? Expect the best from yourself today. Expect the best from your efforts, and expect the best from other people. They'll get you. They'll get you in the tremendous amount of power, passion, and value that you provide. It's just a matter of time. How can they not get you? How can they not get you? You are a force to be reckoned with. Have a great day.